Scrappy friends, welcome to the SpiegelMom Scraps YouTube channel. It's Hannah with you here today, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how I make some frame shaker pockets. Right now I am using a pocket page protector, just an old one that I have cut down, so it still has some of the sides intact, and I am using that frame to just figure out where I want the pocket to go in, like how far in I want it to go, and I'm just kind of measuring this out. It's really rough. I'm not doing a super crazy, it has to be perfect. You definitely could do that. You could use a better ruler. I'm just using the fuse one. Now I will say I'm using a fuse, and this definitely takes a while to get the knack of how your fuse how it works. I think every single one is a little different. I know mine has a little spoke on it that's kind of broken, and I feel like it doesn't do as good of a job. So you will see me go over this quite a bit because I don't want my sequins to fall out at any point. So I'm going to really make sure that these are closed together. And I'm going to be doing quite a few of them because since I'm making them, I might as well do a few, right? So I'm going to be doing 3 small ones and 2 medium-sized ones, and I will be putting some stuff on the inside, not just some sequins. I'm going to be taking some other SpiegelMom Scraps products and a die cut and a wood veneer piece too. So you'll be able to see just some things that you can put in there. I will say that a couple of my smaller ones, I think I added a few extra sequins. So you do want to try to watch out how many you put in. It's really easy to kind of dump quite a few in there. And I am just measuring all of my pockets out all at once. So I pretty much just have to go through and make the pockets, and then I can fill them. So I'm doing more of a assembly line. I find this works better for me. It's a little bit quicker than if I just made one, filled it, you know. But this is definitely one of those things, if that's easier for you to do, you could definitely do it that way. And here I am just going up and down, and I make sure it's pretty good and closed, and then I cut it, and then I flip it over and go over it just one more time. Like I said, my fuse just, I don't know if it's the energy in my room. My scrap room is actually on, it's a screen, it's a closed-in porch, and I think that the electricity isn't as high as it is in the rest of the house. And so sometimes I think little things like this that probably take a little bit more electricity at one time, it just takes a while for it to warm up. So just know how your fuse works, because I know it's a little different for each one. And I found that actually if I was using that piece so that over top of my desk so I don't burn my desk, but I found that it kind of actually soaked in more of the heat. So think about that kind of stuff too. I mean, you don't want to just use it right on like a desk if you can help it, but sometimes you need that stability of something really hard. So yeah, so here I am taking some Free Spirit sequins, and these are a new release, and this is to actually coordinate with the Wild at Heart collection from Cocoa Vanilla. So it's going to look really awesome. It has a lot of those the yellow orangey color, the blues and the burgundies, so it will match really well. And in the one with that that felt heart, those are the Love You Tons hearts, and so they're different sizes. And I earlier this month, last month, I made a layout where I had taken some of these hearts and I kind of cut them and put them back together so that, and then stapled them. So that has one of those in there, and then some of them has some cork butterflies from the shop. I'll make sure that I have all the links below so that you can see where you can find them if you want to make these pockets. And these are really, really fun. And I'm not a big frame person, just to use in my photos. So this is a really good way to use up your frames. And then you have these cute little embellishment clusters that you can start off of and just build on. So I'm not going to be making anything with these today, but if you stay tuned to my channel, you'll be able to see me use these later this week. I'm going to be making a layout with some of these, and I'll make sure that when I make that I put the link below so that you can find it really easily in the description box. So these smaller ones definitely don't need as many sequins. I put way too many in, and it kind of was a little bulky, and it was kind of hard to get them when I fused them shut. And in one of them I have a heart, another one I have a cork star as well, and then in the other one I have just a die cut, a butterfly die cut, and from the collection pack. And in these ones I am using Hey Kiddo, and they're really similar colors. The blue is a little bit not so navy, or there's a couple of tones of blue, and I really like that too. It just kind of really picks up on the watercolor aspect. So I'm mixing them as far as some of the pot shakers have the one and some have the other. You could definitely mix these two mixes together to get a more unique look, or you could just do all one kind if it bothers you to have two different kinds. Some people I know bothers. So I am almost done. I'm just going to cut these up, and then I'm going to put some red line tape on the back of them so they really stick. So the page protector really sticks to the outside of these. So you will watch me put the tape on there. This is kind of boring. I thought about cutting it out, but I really wanted to keep this whole process in here so that you could really just see what I'm doing, since that's all I'm doing on this video. And these were really, really fun to make, and it's a fun way to get a nice shaker. I like to be able to see my shakers. So this is one way that you can definitely see it, and it will shake pretty well if you don't add too much in there, but the stuff will kind of stay in place a little bit too. So it just adds a little pizzazz to, you could definitely make a card with these two. I thought about doing that as well. Putting one on the front of a card and then adding a couple of extra things, and it just make the card really nice and fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you guys make some shaker pockets with some frames, I want to see them. So make sure you tag SpiegelMom Scraps and tag me, and use the hashtags too, because we check those, and we would love to see your stuff. And you can also head over to our Facebook group and share your work over there as well. And I'm just picking these off. I will say the red line tape is a pain in the butt to start sometimes, but once you get it, and it sticks so well, so these are not going anywhere. And I'll probably, when I put it on, well, of course I had to take it off there, but I didn't put it on yet. I find that it kind of the glue on these settle a little bit, so at first you can take it off, but if you wait too long, you're definitely not getting it off. And I will probably use some extra red line when I put these on my project, because they're really hard to see. The tape is not as noticeable as like an ATG tape on the back, so if you end up getting a little bit on your protector, you're not going to notice it as much. So these were really, really fun. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys later with another project or layout or tutorial for you. So I'll see you guys. Bye.